afternoon, everyone. This is Geraldine McManus at Where Does the Buffalo Roam? Coming at you live this afternoon. And I've posted already in my Facebook about the initial saying or the words on as long as the sun shines, as long as the water flows, and as long as the green grass grows. And where did that come from? Of course, it came from the Queen's Bargain. So today I'm going to talk about the Queen's Bargain, and to my understanding, kind of what it means. I spoke with Nancy Scanny recently, and so the information I've been gathering is based on what she has shared with me and the work she's been doing for the last 20 years with the Queen's Bargain. She's gone off to Ottawa with it, and it's out there. She had made assurances that the Queen's Bargain, which I blew up here as well, has been put in the hands of Justin Trudeau. We know for a fact that it was handed to him, and that he literally took this Queen's Bargain with his own hands. So he does have it. So anyways, okay, we're gonna get started here. And I'm going to start with some words by Oren Lyons. And, so he stated, as long as the sunshine grows, as long as the water flows downhill, and as long as the grass grows green, can be found in many treaties after the 1613 treaty. Lyons said, it set a relationship of equity and peace. And this is to remind people of the importance of these agreements. So this is where we're at with this. Nancy Scanny's happy to hear that I'm putting this out live, and we're going to continue to discuss this. I'm going to be doing interviews as well with Nancy as soon as I can get back up to Alberta. But so something that I'm going to be doing also is going over the Indian Act. And there's different things that I'm going to discuss in here, but I'm going through that still to find references to speak about. So first of all, I am going to read out to you the Queen's Bargain. Agreement between Decus and Queen Victoria, the year 1665, on the bargain 1835. Decus is Duke. Queen Victoria, so Duke and the Queen Victoria had gone over this letter. So she writes, the new King of Canada, I am writing to you. New Kings of Canada, of course, being the headmen of our tribes here in Canada. We have a change. We have to change the rules of the whites. We will put head offices in Canada on the Indian Act and superintend on provincial rules. I'll go back a bit. We will put head offices in Canada on the Indian Act and superintend on provincial rules. Lawyer for your business, doctor, Indian affairs, and on this Indian Act and rules of Canada. Okay. So for starters here, I'm going to let you know something, okay? This letter, which I have, okay, was initially sealed with, of course, the Queen's wax seal, and it was sent to our people before the treaties were started. So just so you understand that. So first thing off, when the seal was broken on this and read, for starters, that was mail fraud, because this letter was sent to our people. And of course, back in the 1600s, English was not something that we were all totally educated on yet. So for starters, this letter should have and would have been read out to us. So when they were handing those medals, as many of you see in many of our, I think even in my own band, we've had that picture where we had the fellow handing us a medal and a chief reaching out to get that medal. Well, at this particular time, that medal and this Queen's bargain was to go hand in hand. So in those pictures, we should have seen the fellow handing us the medal to our headman, and that this Queen's bargain with this Queen's seal on it should have been handed out also to the Indigenous headman at that time. Possibly they could say they broke the seal because they needed to make copies for all the other headmen around Turtle Island that they were going out to make this bargain with. So that could be, I guess, one of their arguments, but we'll get into that, I guess. So, all right. So I read you the first paragraph. So second paragraph. In the year of 1820, we sent Simpson to control the company. In the year 1821, we sued Hudson for selling your goods. Pay attention to this, please, people, and understand the importance of this letter. Okay. So they sued Hudson for selling our goods. What was Hudson Bay up to? So I am renewing the treaty and money. Now you got to pay attention to this. $120 a year and tax-free. The rules of the Indian Act of Canada. When the year is due, the superintendent will give you the money tax-free. Tax-free. So this is where it comes in, the $5 that we've been getting all these years, right? This $5, we've all been complaining about it and saying, well, that's ridiculous. $5, and still today we only get $5. So to my understanding and what I've been explained to is that again, we were ripped off. So the $120 a year and tax-free. So this is what I was explained. $120 tax-free is what we're all supposed to be getting, not the $5. The $5, somehow how that got in there, I don't know. I wasn't there. So I'm just going to go by this and explain it as well as I possibly can to everyone. So the $120, we were all supposed to be getting. And so what it means is my lifetime. So I'm going to be 54 soon. And they had only given me $5 a year my entire lifetime. So which means out of the 120, they still owe me $115 for the entirety of my life, because the Queen states it here in the bargain, and they can't go against the Queen's bargain. The Queen's bargain is still standing. And when we get through this, this whole letter, you'll understand what I'm talking about. So I'm 54 today. So second paragraph states that we were supposed to be getting $120 a year tax-free. And that's right here, second paragraph. It states that $120 a year and tax-free. So up until this point, I'm going to be 54 next month. So 54... 120 minus the 5, that means $115 times 54. So $115 that they didn't give me times my years of life is what they owe me. So that's, sorry, I'm going to take my time here. But so this is kind of an important part to understand, and reason being is because I think that when we understand this, we'll have a better idea of why we're talking about this and why we're Nancy Scanny has been trying to educate on this for over 20 years. And we do know a lot of people, I think, have this Queen's Bargain, and not sure why they haven't shared the entirety of it with us. But we'll hopefully maybe get some people to come forward and tell us why they haven't been sharing this. It is out there, the Queen's Bargain, and Nancy Scanny has been putting it out for over 20 years. She's been taking it all over. People have been taking this Queen's Bargain with them to court, and they have been successful in court when they give this Queen's Bargain to the judge. And Nancy Scanny has proved that. She has taken this to court to obtain her land back up in Cold Lake, Alberta. Also, a young relative of hers took this bargain to court when he went to get back his fish nets and his fishing gear that was taken from him, and that he was successfully granted back his equipment and given permission, I guess, to go ahead and continue to do what he was doing. So we do know that this works. She stated to me that this was given to some people here in Manitoba as well. And who these people in Manitoba are, I'm not sure. Whether they used it, how were they successful, I'm not too sure. I'm still working on that to find those people, because Nancy Scanny had a flood in her community, and years and years and years of her work was destroyed in this flood. And so this is the problem that Nancy Scanny is having right now, in trying to get in touch with people out there who she's spoken to over the years, bringing this to many, many communities. So, okay. So let's get back to it. So they owe me $115 for over the years of that they never gave me the whole 120, which is stated in the Queen's Bargain. Why Indian Affairs is only given $5 a year is beyond me. But this is something that we have to talk about. We have to really, as Indigenous people, come together and say, okay, look at, why are we getting $5 a year when in this Queen's Bargain it states we were supposed to get $120 a year? So right at this point, they owe me $6,210, just me. Now, I want you to understand, that is just me. Now, what we have to do is come together, and that's going to be a part of what we're going to be discussing at the Clan Mothers Gathering, the Clan Grandmothers Gathering in Alberta with Nancy Scanny over the summertime, coming up May 2020, and that will go on throughout the summertime. Nancy Scanny has gone out and spoke to other people about this. She just spoke about it at the gathering of the Dene people in Calgary, I believe last month it was. So this is an ongoing discussion, and our people really need to learn to understand this and figure out what is it that we're going to do about this. In regards to as the grassroots people. As a grassroots people, it was the job of our head people to understand this and to bring this to our attention. But however, I have never had this brought to my attention until I met with Nancy Scanny this summer. And now, that I've sat up there with her and I've gone over this with her, and we've had weeks of discussion, Nancy and I. And so, to my understanding, this is important for us to get out, and it's important for us to understand this. So that's what we're going to do, and this is what I'm going to do. And I just spoke to Nancy again a day or two ago, and like I said, she's excited that I'm going to bring this out and talk about it more. And we hope to bring as much education to our people as we can as the grassroots, because it seems that we're always the last to know about things. Okay, so carrying on. Now we're done with paragraph 2, and we're going to move on to paragraph 3 now. Okay, so it states, Now you will have to make the township. The whites will have to pay you for everything you have. You make head townships in Canada, have reservations to keep the whites off the reserve, and free Indian navigation. Free gates for settlers and timber of 100 acres. We leave it as you gave it to the settlers. Only the pine for the lumbermen and 60-cent share on navigation rights if you were on the boat. So this is again something that, which I'm hoping that we'll have some Indigenous legal people watching this and listening to me and understanding this and contact me, because we really do need to kind of go over this more. Maybe you won't contact me and you'll go on with this and figure this out on your own in each different provincial territory. And that would be great as well. So, okay. Whew. Okay. So that's the third paragraph. Fourth paragraph. It's free traveling all over Canada, any place you go. If you want a house in Canada, you go to the superintendent, put in your order, and he will see that it is built. Well, as all of us Indigenous people out there know, that never happened. The homes we are given on our reservations are under title of the Band and Council, or Chief and Council, pardon me. So Chief and Council basically owns all the homes on reserves. Our people own nothing. We only reside in those homes. And so there's never ever ownership, which is again something that I'll probably bring up with Fee Simple. And again, I was talked to about this and I didn't pay enough attention, and I apologize to people who I haven't paid attention to on that. But that's another story. We'll get into that later. So, okay. So we know that the superintendent, it says if you want a house in Canada, you go to the superintendent. Well, that never happened. It never occurred for any of us that I have ever known of. If it has occurred for you, share that with us. Let the grassroots people know how you accomplish that. Okay. Fifth paragraph. It will cost nothing. They will pay for it. And so this is extending from the homes. So I'll read that again. It's free traveling all over Canada, and in any place you go, if you want a house in Canada, you go to the superintendent, put in your order, and he will see that it is built. It will cost nothing. They will pay for it. I will put a warden in to mind your game wherever your animal will make its track in Canada. You can follow it until you get it. If the whites want your animal, they will have to pay for it with the license. All right. So that's an important part, again, to pay attention to, which is how I believe Nancy Scanny's relative had gotten his fish nets back and his equipment, his fishing equipment, because they had confiscated it all from him. And he went with the Queen's bargain and fought in court for his equipment back. And he got it using the Queen's bargain. And this part is I think the part that was used for that. So again, next paragraph. If you work for a white man, they cannot garnish your wages. The whites will have to pay the taxes. You are entitled to 3% on the taxes and 3% on the timber and $3 stumpage besides, and 5% on the mines. So pay close attention to these things. This is something that's very important. And if you really want to get into discussion, I suggest that we really sit amongst ourselves as Indigenous people to discuss these issues, which is why, again, we're calling you out to Alberta this summer. This is something that we really have to talk in private with as Indigenous people to understand it fully and completely. And I think that the picture will become more and more clear as we continue to speak about this and as we carry on trying to understand it. Any legal experts out there, please chime in or let's get together and chat about this. I'm hoping to speak with some legal experts at some point soon about this. So anyways, okay. So $3 stumpage besides and 5% on the mines. And if you have money in the band, it is 5%. 5%. Also, game money is yours. If the whites crowd you, you are to go to the superintendent and put in your complaint, and he will take it up to the lawyer and he will be prosecuted. Understand this. Very important part. As our lands were all encroached upon, and as we were all subjected and forced to stay on reserves, that was never supposed to happen. Never was that supposed to happen. So many laws at this point were broken from the beginning, and we understand that. But in this Queen's bargain, this is important to understand those laws that were broken and how are we going to address these laws that were broken. So, important, if the whites crowd you, you are to go to the superintendent and put in your complaint, and he will take it up to the lawyer and he will be prosecuted. Well, I don't recall anybody ever being prosecuted for encroaching on our lands. So once again, big discussion. We need to really discuss this. All right, the last and most important paragraph in the Queen's bargain. The bargain is made, and I am sending you a medal as good as gold. And here we go back to that medal that was handed to us. You see that in many pictures. It's been portrayed in many pictures throughout Turtle Island with our people. So important to pay attention to this. So the bargain is made, and I'm sending you a medal as good as gold. As long as there is an Indian in the country, generation to generation, King Chief Brother, I am telling you, a nephew is born. My son, and I am your sister, Queen Victoria. Forever, this bargain we made between you and I will stand. As long as there is water in the lakes and run in the rivers and creeks, and the green grass grows, the bargain, the year of 1665, comes the year 1835, is good as long as the sun and moon shines. It cannot change. This bargain is for the King Chief of Canada from Queen Victoria. All right. So this is the importance of the bargain. It cannot change, which means for as ever and ever and ever, this bargain is applicable to our people and to the laws in this country of Canada. These laws are something that we have to really take a look at, and we must move forward with this Queen's bargain and really get it into motion as to what it is that we are going to do as grassroots people about this. Our headmen have been in charge for how long now? And our headmen have never once brought this to the grassroots attention. So this goes out to all grassroots people, and for them to understand the importance of understanding this Queen's bargain. Lots have been left out, and I think it's high time that we educate ourselves and that we work towards coming together as grassroots people, as the original peoples of this country, and we fight back. And we use the Queen's bargain to do that. And we're going to do that by using our education. As a Dakota woman, it is important for me to get my education. And the reason being is because I cannot help in this fight unless I have more education. The things that we're working on is to help us with that. I've been just accepted into my business plan writing course, and I'm hoping to have my business plan ready for funders by the end of March. I start again in University of Winnipeg in April, and I'm hoping that my funding goes through with that. I've applied for funding with Long Plains, and so I'll find out about my funding as soon as I can get all my the rest of my paperwork in. So the importance of this Queen's Bargain, I find, is that well, what it states is of great importance to many of us. To me in particular, I guess, because I heard it, I heard it from Nancy Scanny, and sitting with her a couple of weeks really helped me to understand it. Of course, we talked about a lot of other things. Spirituality, again, very important for people, and the understanding of that. Some of us are spiritual and we're not traditional. So that is all I will be speaking about, is the spiritual aspect. And we all understand that there's a huge spiritual war going on around Turtle Island, and that is of great importance to understand as well. But that's for another time, and we'll discuss that in future coming videos that I'll be putting out. So I'm new at this, but I'm doing the best that I can, and I hope to get better and better as we move along. And I hope to find other important issues that the grassroots people need to address. As the grassroots people, there are many, many, many of us out there who are really trying to understand and who are really trying to look at things that have kind of not been mentioned to our people. And I think that I feel at times that our own grassroots people, we are not educated as much as we could be, because the more we know, the more we will question. And the more we question, the more our own people have to answer to us now. In the past, it was to understand the white people world to kind of progress towards better in our future. That, however, had to take our people going back to school and getting educated in order to do that. So that's going on. That's happening. It's been going on for quite a while, and we still have a long way to go, and we still need a lot more people to get educated and go back to school and to start helping with these things. I myself am doing the best that I can in regards to that. And the camp itself is, like I said, I have gone to the Border Patrol, and the Border Patrol kind of runs that road. They're the ones, or the only ones who can kick me off that road, as far as I understand. The RCMP is just there to talk to me about the rural municipality that they are in charge of. So RCMP has no right on the road that I'm on. The road that I'm on, of course, I've given the Queen's Bargain. And if anybody wants to kick me off that road and move the wigwam that we have up over the lines, well, we're going to go to court and fight that. So this is just kind of what's, has to take place. And so we're going to be busy, and the camp will be built on. That's, however, that's, however, up to me to get in order, and I'm working on that amongst many other things that I'm trying to work on. My days are full, my weekends are full, and just coming off the line temporarily to do these things, I have no choice. I can't accomplish everything at once. Taking care of the camp, taking care of my education, trying to take care of my health, is all of these things are extremely important. I can't help anybody else. I can't do anything for anybody else unless I take care of my health first. So that's what I'm working on as well. So going to keep this video to a half hour. Please, if anybody has any interest, and if anybody would like to discuss this more, please contact me, privately message me at my Facebook page, Geraldine Yvonne McManus. And so my closing thoughts on this is, if we can understand this Queen's Bargain and understand the importance of controlling our own land and taking back our land, but also many other things, there are things in this thing that I could explain to you that I understand, and as to how and what we can do about this, but I'm going to save that for our private conversations, because again, we have to keep some of our conversations private, but the Queen's Bargain is out there. Nancy Scanny has taken it to Ottawa. She has been out with it. Justin Trudeau has this Queen's Bargain. It has been put right in his hand. Many discussions are going on around Canada with this, and I know she's taken this down to the States as well. So please, anybody who understands the Queen's Bargain, or anybody who wants to talk about it more, please contact me. Let's arrange for more discussions to be done on this, because it's it's high time. Let's understand this together. I'm not saying I understand everything, but I'm doing the best that I can, and this is why I'm bringing this to your attention. Thank you, Nancy Scanny out there, for educating me on this, and thank you, ancestors, for taking me out to see Nancy, and lot of stuff on the story with me and Nancy Scanny. I'll tell you, there's been, like, when I went out there and she recognized me, she wasn't looking at me here, she was looking at me up here. And understand, when I say that many people can see what's here, not what's here. And so that understanding is extremely important as well. A lot of discussions are going to be coming up, and these are discussions that have never been had with our people. So please stay tuned and join me again to speak about things and to understand the Queen's Bargain. Really important. I'm going to keep bringing it up, and hope to see you all down at the Clan Grandmother meeting in May of 2020 in Alberta. That's where we're all going to meet, and there's a reason for that. Nancy Scanny is getting on in age, and she can't do much traveling anymore, which is why she asked me to call everyone to come out to see her in Cold Lake, and to discuss and to listen to what she has to say. And so, we have to start trying to pay attention to our clan grandmothers, because they are of great importance. And I, for one, am very honored that Nancy has asked me to help her and support her in this. And so I'm looking forward to doing whatever work I can on it, and hope to get back to Nancy this summer and go and stay and visit with her again, and get a lot more of words of wisdom, and just love sitting with her. I just love sitting with her. She's an incredible woman, and it's lovely to hear her stories. And I know there are many other grandmothers out there that I would love to sit with and hear their stories as well. So if there are any grandmothers out there that have things that they would like to discuss and put on air for us, because I know there are many, and I don't think our people can keep up with the amount of grandmothers and clan mothers that are out there who should by now speak up, so that we can hear these words of wisdom, and so that we can get these words of wisdom to our young people, because this is extremely important. This is the time where our women have to speak up and speak out to the youth of Turtle Island, so that they can understand why are all these things important? Why are parts of our history so important? And this is a part of our history that is extremely important. The Queen's Bargain is extremely important. We have to pay attention to this, I think. And I think we need to move forward as grassroots people and discuss this more. So, all right, for now, that's about it. Hope you enjoyed this little spiel of mine, and hope to see you real soon. Thank you very much, everyone. You have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you all soon. Peace and love to all of yous, and bye for now.